General Motors says a controversial ad by the Canadian Auto Union that aired during the Super Bowl is misleading and makes false claims.
You may have forgotten our generosity, but we'll never forget your greed.
The ad by Unifor urges Canadians not to buy GM cars made in Mexico. BNN Bloomberg's John Ehrlichman joins me now. John, great to see you. I did not see this as the controversy we would be talking about after the Super Bowl, but so the union ignored GM's demand to pull the ad. Where do we stand now?
Well, this letter was sent to the union in response to this decision to have these advertisements. Where we go from here, it's a great question, Ben. We don't exactly know. We do know that after the decision by General Motors to close this Oshawa plant, that the union, as you might expect, didn't want to just sit down and move on. They wanted to keep the conversation going. One way you keep a conversation going is you create an advertisement. And in this case, you put it on one of the biggest television events of the year. And you saw a little bit of the wording in that ad there. Really, they're trying to go back to how Canadians felt during the financial crisis and the money that Ottawa ultimately gave to GM. It's the wording around that the lawyers at General Motors are focusing on. You know, was that a sort of a handout to GM? They're basically saying, well, actually, we paid that money back. So we're kind of getting into the legality around that as a result of this battle.
But do you think this is going to damage GM's reputation in the long run in Canada?
I think it's a reminder that General Motors, which is going through huge transformation right now, it's not just in Canada, it's in the U.S. as well, is going to have to think about this relationship with workers. There's still a lot of GM workers in this country, but you look at the impacts for the Oshawa story, not just at that plant, but all the other people that are supplying that plant and the ramifications. This is a conversation they're having in Canada and the U.S., especially with more production in Mexico right now.
Well, thank you to you and the team at BNN Bloomberg for following this for us today.
Yeah, appreciate it.